When you think of money and investing, does it trigger an emotional response? It's very easy to think of money strictly as dollars and cents, believing the cold, hard logic. However, when it comes to most people, it is more of an emotional play and it has a bigger role in our financial success. When you think about your feelings and how they relate to money, it can dictate exactly how you approach it. If fear dominates investing or other things like that, or you might treat your money rather as a tool, as something that can improve your life by purchasing additional things. Now, when it comes to Tori Dunlap, we're going to be breaking down 5 ways to overcome your biggest money fears. Now, this, of course, does take a little bit of emotional intelligence and also understanding the practical reasons behind these. So, the first one we look at is don't panic. Mode your emergency fund. This is something very important. Is the emergency fund is 3 to 6 months of those expenses, preferably a high yield savings account. You have to be hedging out inflation. If not, your emergency fund is essentially going to be losing money over an extended amount of time. However, it can be super detrimental if you're overstuffing your emergency fund or saving too much money in there. When you start getting north of the 6 months, 8 months, 12 months of an emergency fund, it is going to limit your wealth building opportunities and really the ways you can broaden your wealth, like investing. Striking a balance, make sure your emergency fund, and once you get there, is not going to stall your long-term financial growth. This is a big reason why when you set an emergency fund, when you build out that budget, you know exactly dollar for dollar how much you should have in there. Maybe a little bit of a cushion, maybe a couple hundred, maybe a couple thousand, depending on the size. But overall, if you're spot on thinking of 3 to 6 months of an emergency fund, you are right there. Now, when we think about our second one, getting strategic about the spending. Now, this is something, no matter how careful you can be, credit cards are really a bad idea for a couple different reasons. The first one is when it comes to credit cards, people do not treat it as real money. That is something that we've psychologically been proven, that when it comes to credit cards, you're likely to spend around 20 to 30% higher than an individual that is using a debit card or is using cash. It is really the unnecessary purchases rather than sitting down, understanding exactly what you're going to buy. What do the bank statements look like? And what do you need? Me personally, when it comes to larger expenditures, I give it about 24 to 48 hours and a cool down. If after that time I want to still go ahead and make that purchase, then I do, knowing that it wasn't emotional, it was an impulse, it's something that I can use, and I'm very frugal when it comes to my money. Now, if it is something that doesn't add value or joy to your life, look at cutting that out. That could be something you could get rid of, giving the ability to save more money, giving you the ability to invest or even to pay down debt. Now, when you look at forgotten subscriptions, this is really something that is crazy within the United States. We have so many subscriptions that a lot of them we don't use or we forget about in their entirety. So making sure that you manage those and manage those very well is going to make a difference when it comes to really uncovering and really overcoming those big money fears. Now, the third one, checking in with your finances. This is really when you take me time, when you sit down, when you close your books, when you really relax your mind. It is the exact same thing when it comes to finances. You need to have a way, at least on a monthly basis, to boost your self-esteem, to sit down, to understand exactly where you're at. It doesn't mean it has to be a negative experience. When it comes to sitting down with finances, a majority of people dread it. They hate it. If you can create a regular routine for checking in with your finances, very low pressure rather than just really hurrying, or a lot of people don't even see it. They get statements in the mail, they don't open them. Bank statements, they don't go through. Credit card accounts, they don't go through. They don't want to see it. They don't want the realization of what is going on with their finances, and they choose to just shove it under the rug. Well, there's going to be a day when it pops up. There's late payments, there's late fees. You wonder where your paycheck went. Or worse fear, you're a couple years down the road and you're wondering what happened to all of your money in the entirety. So you have to take a really thoughtful look at your savings and your spending habits. Where are you spending? Where can you cut back? It is up to you. I explain this when I do the financial education and counseling piece, is no one's going to monitor everything for you. They're not going to be holding your hand when you're at the grocery store. They're not going to be doing the same thing if you're out shopping. You have to make sure that you're setting your finances up automatically for a lot of different things: savings, investing, 401k contributions, paying your bills. All of that can be set up automatically, meaning it's going to be super easy and not really complex, not a ton of time consumption when you sit down and just do a financial check-in. And again, you can do this every 2 weeks, once a month, whatever it may be. And you'll realize that once you do this for 2 or 3 months, and this is exactly, again, how I do the financial counseling piece. Once you do this the first month, it's going to be a little bit difficult. You're going to have questions. There might be difficulty understanding some parts. Once you start getting 2 or 3 months in this, it becomes a habit and it becomes incredibly easy. There will be a point where a majority of your fixed expenses are automatically paid. Your bills are coming out automatically. Most of it's on autopilot. When you think about your mortgage or your rent, it's the same. Car payments, it's the same. Insurance, for a majority of us, pretty much the same. But there are a lot of things when you look at your cable bill, when you think of your phone bill, that are the exact same month in, month out. It's like clockwork. Those are very easy. You're going to see those. Do a check in the box. You know exactly the dollar figure that you're spending. It is the variable expenses that we're looking at, or the disposable income that we're looking at, that you can either, again, save more, invest more, and pay more bills. Now, number 4, figuring out your ramen noodle number. Now, this was something that Tori really stressed on, and I love this. So what exactly is the ramen noodle number? This is kind of funny, and it does go down as easy as sodium-packed dorm room staple ramen noodles, which is people are talking about. So the ramen noodle number, as she refers to it, is the amount of money that you need to cover 100% of your essentials. When we think of essentials, what do we need to live? We need shelter. That would cover rent. Looking at your food, looking at your utilities. What is that magic number? For some of us, it might be $1,500, $1,800, even $2,000 a month is the magic number to cover rent, food, utilities. We're not talking anything fancy. We are talking straight up beans and rice, Dave Ramsey style. Ramen noodle number, as they refer to it here, on making sure that everything and what is the dollar amount that you need to actually survive. Above and beyond that, how much you're earning, or is there a deficiency in there where you're going to have to go ahead and earn some more money. Now, of course, this is really a number that provides clarity and reassurance for people during an emergency, a financial setback. If you have an unexpected expense, this is something that you can look at and see exactly what that number is. And knowing that you're above that number is going to be a great feeling. And the final one we look at is diversification of your income. They talk about side hustles. That's exactly what we're doing here on YouTube. So if you like the content that I'm putting out, please subscribe to the channel and we'll continue with this. So as you look at freelance gigs, side hustles like this, second jobs, passive income, it is a great way to alleviate stress when it comes to money. Knowing that you have extra money coming in gives you an extended peace of mind. And of course, when you start looking at multiple revenue streams, your backup plan can have a backup plan, can have a backup plan. When you start looking at the diversification of income, when you get 2 sources, 3 sources, 5 sources, however many it is, it makes a big difference, because if something should happen with your primary income, you have supplemental income that is coming in from a multitude of sources that essentially you can go ahead and you can pick up. Even if you pick up more hours, you pick up more time, you put more effort into it, you can get a much bigger return in a very, very easy way. So overall, guys, to recap this, some things like in life are objectively scary. And it's funny because they refer to zombies, quicksand, fruitcake. But as you see, really getting emotional and understanding your money, it comes down to a lot more logic than it comes to the emotional side. And for me, this took about 15, 20 years to really grasp and overcoming the money fears, where money is coming from, where is it going to. But once you do get to the point of overcoming the money fears, it is a game changer for the rest of your life. So guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.